What's up?
Welcome back to Adobe Life. My name is Julia Masalska.
And I'm Joonbug.
Yay, cool. And it's great to have you all here in the chat. I can see already a lot of people have joined us. Yes. So welcome.
Yes.
Today we're going to be doing some really cool illustration artwork, starting with a little warm-up exercise.
Yeah, I'm going to tell y'all good morning, really, in my style. This is a little exercise I do whenever I wake up in enough time to actually get started with the day. I like to do these warm-ups that turn my brain off and just allow my mind to kind of like wander a little bit.
Yeah.
And I just kind of trust myself to create something. I don't know what it is, but usually it takes, anywhere from like 30 seconds to 2 minutes, and it's just something to like get it out. And
we're gonna do it today. So I'm gonna start a sketch, and Joonbug is gonna finalize it in illustration. So that's gonna be really exciting. Stay tuned for that.
Collaboration.
So in about 30 minutes, you will be able to win some Sticker Mule stickers. So stay tuned for that as well in the chat and win. And in about 90 minutes, we're going to be reviewing some of your daily creative challenge submissions that Claudia just presented. By the way, Claudia, welcome here as well in the chat. And welcome to everybody, Michelle, Tim, Valder, Steve. Let us know where you're tuning in from. We always like to talk about cultures and about, how people from all over the world can communicate.
Nice name.
Which one?
Noor? Is that
Noor,
how you say it?
I think Noor, maybe?
Noor?
Or Noor.
That's a cool first name.
Yeah, I think Noor is a very common chat participant here. I have seen the name.
Veteran.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
Yeah, cool. Well, I'm glad we have so many people joining us.
Texas, I see Texas.
Yeah, Texas, Netherlands. I'm gonna be traveling to the Netherlands probably by the end of this month. So I'm very excited about that.
Long Beach.
Oakland, Belgium. Cool. You have some people here from Oakland.
Yeah.
You want to say something about your art show?
Actually, if you are in Oakland, I'm having a solo show at Part 2 Gallery, which is like downtown Oakland off Webster. If you know where Howden Market is, it's right by there. It'll be March 14th. It's going to be a really big show. There'll be 2 solo shows and also a group show. And it'll be blackety black. So
cool. Yeah. Well, that's really exciting. And are you going to be posting updates on your Instagram?
Yeah, I'll be posting some updates. Actually, I just put out a press release. So if you check my Instagram story,
yeah,
you'll see a link to swipe up.
We can quickly look at your Instagram profile.
Let's do that.
So in case people are interested in following you and keeping updated with your art shows and whatever you're doing.
Can I do that same pose without the camera?
Yeah, right. So Joonbug, the Bugs 87 on Instagram.
Yep.
Make sure to follow, and here in the stories you will be able to see details about his art show. So here's also some great artwork. We've been going through this yesterday already. Make sure to check it out. It looks super fun.
Also, if you make it, I know there's like 6,081 posts. If you make it to the first post, please DM me, because not too many people have made it there. And there's some early works that I still feel great about. So if you do make it all the way, let me know.
Yeah, cool.
I'll send you something.
Awesome. Make sure to follow the Bugs87 on Instagram. And then also we can check out his Behance profile.
Yep.
Yeah, make sure to follow, and you can also check out his work for Shoe Palace, for example. We've been going through this yesterday, a super cool project where his illustrations were brought onto Nike shoes. And here there's the Czar packaging. It's also very exciting. Yeah. Cool. And of course, his website. So if you go on to bugs87.com, you will be able to see more of his projects.
Yeah, and go into each project, because there's even more of a breakdown of how I came up with the concept and how we ended up reaching the finish line. So yeah, click on in and check out some of those.
And you can also go into the shop and purchase some of the things.
Support artists.
Yeah, of course.
Buy my prints.
Yeah.
And my books.
Cool. All right. So yesterday we started off with a really nice illustration that kind of like just developed over time, right?
Very improv.
Yeah, like totally improv. Do you want to like show a little bit about yesterday? What we
Yeah,
did?
let's look at what I created yesterday.
Kevin, hello from Guatemala. Diana from
Kevin
Moscow,
from
welcome. I'm from Ukraine, so
Guatemala.
good to have some Ukrainians and Russians here.
Very nice.
Awesome.
Yeah, so if you go to my screen, I'll pull up what we did yesterday, which was very much of an improv.
Yeah.
Let's hide some of this stuff here. And
Let's zoom in a little bit, maybe.
yeah, we can zoom in.
Yeah.
So this is what we did yesterday, and basically it started out as a drawing, and so we used Adobe Capture to bring it in as a vector, and then kind of had a lot of fun with it where I was going for a certain look, and then I copied and pasted and then used a transparency option and ended up liking it, and then we just went that straight direction and started to just make chaos really, and then it started looking great. And so we got some fun color overlays and shapes and kind of doing this offset printing with a little bit of the excess from the scan left over. So that's what you have right here. And it just works with the design, so we kind of kept it going.
Yeah. And I feel like the imperfections really make your style, you know, and that you brought in the things that are actually somebody can see as flaws are actually making the whole, you know, the whole style, and, you know, it makes it very, very special.
Yeah, because it was kind of like everything works. We weren't saying no to anything really, and it just kind of like tinkered around until we found a good landing place, and I really like it.
Yeah.
I like it. It feels like how the design is supposed to feel, which, you know, if you get those scam likely calls, I imagine this is what the person looks like or the computer looks like that's trying to get you to buy something. Yeah. And I imagine this is what we all feel like over here.
Nope, not today,
you know, and just kind of like click, you know. So I'm really pleased with how we came up with this and how it looks now.
That's cool. Are you going to publish this on Behance?
I will. I'll publish this on Behance. I'll show the initial drawing as well, and I'll show like the final design too once we kind of get it up and into the like pristine final design. So
yeah, cool, awesome. Yeah, I'm very excited about that. Make sure to follow him on Behance so you can see, you know, to see it on your own screen. And should we start with the exercise?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, let's do that. Maybe we can like. I brought a new sketchbook. Well, it's not new.
Okay, let's
I feel like it's just loaded with goodies. So maybe I'll show off a few pages, and then there's a page that has a lot of illustrations, and maybe we'll just find a place right there. Because most of the time, my books, there's just always space. So I kind of go back and forth and revisit certain things. So we'll find a space, and then we'll do a little good morning drawings. Cool. But let's look at the book. So this is a small book. I didn't do the cover, but I added to the cover.
It looks cool.
But we'll kind of like, I have a lot of these where it's Copic on this side, and then from the bleed through, I kind of create, you know, another thing.
That is awesome.
And there's just a lot of room for more creativity. Yeah. So these are some of the good morning drawings that I do. Really simple, some of them are funny, play a lot with shapes and just having type underneath. So we can probably go through some of the practices that I do, like, wait, hold on, that, catnip, okay, I know. So cool. A lot of my mind is about just using what's already there, and like even this guy saying adios mio is really that there. Like a bleed through, and then we have some of like the more realistic kind of style that I have. My friend Charlie.
Yeah. Nora's saying great for stickers. Yeah.
Thanks. I get that a lot.
Yeah,
actually.
I feel like because you're always kind of creating these smaller shapes, and it kind of like it's easy to imagine it as a sticker.
Yeah, you can like pluck it out. It can stand wherever. This was from a project that I was working on with Mandela Grocery in West Oakland.
Nice.
And so, yeah, you have like a lot of different ideas here. So
That's
yeah,
awesome.
we'll land at a page.
Ooh, I love this.
Yeah, this is like
really cool.
Maybe we can turn
Check
that
this
around,
out, guys.
Yeah.
This is really amazing.
And then if you flip it too, it's like a whole
Oh.
other thing. You know,
Wow.
so it's kind of like whatever you see, just go for it. I think that's the vibe that I always work with.
And yesterday we were also talking how he's working, starting off with a red pencil and then going into the black color. So then when you scan it or when you use Adobe Capture, you can just take out the black color, which helps you, avoid the things that you initially were just like initial sketches. So,
Yeah, because I mean, on like my usual process before being introduced to Adobe Capture was just scanning it in with Photoshop. And if you know, like comic book artists, usually do the computer blue or the process blue. And it's a way to draw, but still, like whenever you put the black over it, the computer can pick up the black and delete the other color.
Yeah.
So I'll use Photoshop to just basically use the slider and take the red out, and you're left with this clean black.
Yeah.
And
This is
I
an
just kind
awesome
of experiment
technique.
a lot, so there's patterns.
We've seen a couple cowboys already.
Yeah, Texas, yeah.
Cool.
I kind of like this page. Maybe we'll stop here and do the good morning.
Yeah.
And this is just a page of different times that I've just revisited this book. So there's drawings that were there before, and then I've seen space and then come back and added things. And it just kind of creates like a never-ending world of what could possibly be. So let's start. You know what? I'll use my right hand. I'm left-handed, but I'll use my right hand and like start it off maybe. Let's just draw a little. Let's do that.
A little something.
Yeah, people think they're opposite hand.
I can already see something.
They're less dominant.
I can see
hand
like
is not
a
good.
jumping guy, like
I don't see that.
with the hands up here, hands up, and then the legs.
Oh, you see? Okay.
You see that?
Okay, I see a little bit.
Or you can turn around.
see a
I see a
face.
face. Yeah.
See, you see a face that way. I saw a face the other way too.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, right. That was more like a character kind of. Yeah.
So maybe we can do. Maybe we can do something. So now I'm looking at the screen, and sometimes it helps to just look at from different angle. So now I'm kind of seeing something where we can go like this. And I'm just gonna connect it. I still don't really know what's going to happen here.
Yeah. I feel like half of the time you don't know what's happening, but it
Not
just
really.
happens.
But we're gonna figure it out.
Yeah.
We're gonna figure it out.
Nora's saying I see a parrot.
You see a parrot? Where? I don't see a parrot.
Oh, now it
yet.
looks like a dog. A little bit.
It looks like a dog now. Ooh, see, now I see.
Anthony's saying your process from yesterday really helped me.
I'm glad. I feel like this process today is gonna help you even more, because it's gonna be a way to get out of a creative block in case you land in that space that we don't like to be in.
Yeah. I
So I
agree.
see kind of like this Picasso lady.
Oh.
Maybe like some flared up nostrils there. Maybe we can put some.
And you were telling us
lips
yesterday
on there.
that you're so inspired by Picasso and his different
Yeah,
styles.
his different ways of just going in and out of styles, accumulating styles, kind of stockpiling. Really, it's a good thing to aspire to. Is just to be so multidimensional that no matter what you create, you can always accept the beauty in it. Because sometimes we get so fixed on perfection, and it has to be this and it has to be
Yeah.
that way. But art is art, it's gonna be doing his art thing.
Wow.
I see a lot of faces here. Maybe.
Alexander is saying it looks like a dude with a boombox over the shoulder.
Oh.
I feel like everybody sees things that kind of relate to them in a way.
It does. Maybe there's another face under here, though, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe give her like a nice cheek with some freckles there.
Yeah.
And let's put some hairlines.
Yeah.
Maybe that's a helmet. Maybe let's do that. Broadcasting a little bit.
Yay.
I feel like a little Bob Ross right now. Yeah.
Barbara.
A little Bobby Ross, you know.
Oh, Bob Ross, yeah.
I'm Bobby Ross, a little black version here. You know what I'm saying? So let's do maybe.
For those of you who don't know who Bob Ross is.
Oh, he's the GOAT. He has this calm way of just explaining his paintings, you know. It's like,
Yeah.
we're gonna put a tree there. Actually, let's just do that. Let's put a tree.
And was he like, because I'm not from the U.S. I just moved here about 3 years ago. So can you tell us more about Bob Ross? Was he shown on TV or how?
Yeah, Bob Ross was on TV, and he would come on and he would just make these amazing paintings. But the way he made them and kind of narrated his process was just like this almost gentle soul of, you know, the painting could go either way, but he just did very minimal stroke. It was mostly like he was so advanced and so masterful that he could put 2 strokes down, and the way he did it, it was just so realistic because he understood light, and his technique was very refined. So it was very interesting to just watch him, because as much as he thought he was going to mess up, he always came through. And so I think I really picked up something from that.
Yeah, I think that's awesome.
Yeah, and if you are really an OG, you'll remember there was this program, and I feel like that's where I learned a lot of my technique as far as like taking something and making something else. There was a show called Pappyland, and it used to come on, I guess PBS a long time ago, and it was just like this old guy in this world, and he would basically take things and create other things, and then by the end of the cartoon, he would animate whatever he was taking. Like he would go back to the drawing board, take a 5, make a tiger out of it, and then that would animate for a little bit.
Oh wow!
And it was like so underrated. I see somebody watch PBS Maya. Yeah. So if you can go on YouTube and look up Pappyland, man, that was and then kids will send in their drawings afterwards.
That's so cool.
Yeah, we'll just put Good Morning on this.
And definitely also look up Bob Ross if you haven't seen him yet. He had a very solid hair game. Yeah, somebody mentioned that.
That fro.
Yeah.
Man.
His hair was very legendary.
Very legendary. He kept it so puffy too. Like it was perfect.
Do you think he had a specific hairstylist?
You know, he probably did. You know, I would attribute Bob Ross to like the painterly version of Mr. Rogers. If I can make that analogy, I think you would understand. So if you know Mr. Rogers and you know how gentle Mr. Rogers was, then Bob Ross was basically the paintered version of that. So I feel like, see? Yeah, see? We got it. So yeah, I think, you know, there's something fundamental to watching someone that's just so calm in their work that they're not really swayed by something that's going wrong, because it's not necessarily
They trust
wrong.
the process.
They trust the process.
Yeah.
And the process ends up working for them.
Yeah.
So, yeah, this is kind of what I ended up with. So we have 2 faces in a forest. That's probably, I'm going to say this is like a hairy arm right here. You know, let's make that a hairy arm. And then there's a lady right here. Maybe, you know, talking gibberish. And then we have kind of a lady with a helmet hair maybe, and
helmet
a
hair.
robot, you know, satellite, getting some reception, I guess.
And we have some trees in the background.
Trees in the background. Let me put my bird right there. This is my Joonbug bird. Very simple.
Cool.
Very simple. Yeah, and so that's kind of what we have.
Cool.
But
would you now kind of continue working with that? Like
if I like it, sometimes I'll take it and flesh it out even more. Like I'll scan it, blow it up, print it back out, redraw it. I like that process because sometimes when you scan, you get, or when you print out and you scan on the paper, because the print is ink bleeding into the paper, so you kind of get these really unique bleeds. And so you get these edges, and when you scan those edges back in, then you get a more textured drawing, and then you can kind of keep doing the process, like Xeroxing almost.
Yeah. Cool.
And
I would love to see this in color.
that would be cool. Actually, you know what? I could. For the sake of time, we can do...
And yeah, Lindsay is saying Joy of Painting on Netflix. Yes, I'm interested. I love binge watching things, so...
Joy of Painting on
Yeah.
Netflix. I've never heard of that.
It seems to be by Bob Ross. No. No. I'm not sure. Anyway, I'm going to check it out. Thank you for the tip.
Let me check it out.
This is awesome.
Yeah, so, yeah, that's basically the crux of it. Ooh, I like this little person here. It's like, can I help you? But he's doing the splits.
Oh, yeah.
And, you know, part of me would probably scan that and make a whole big deal about it. And then even this right here, there's still potential for this guy, because you could always put a body on him. You could always make him say something. Even this person that's kind of just free falling, like flailing basically, is basically this person right here. So it's all over the place. It's all over the place. Everything is a possibility in the book.
Cool.
Everything can be something else.
Thanks for clarifying, Lindsay. It's a Bob Ross show, so...
It's a Bob Ross.
Yay! I'm definitely gonna check it out. I'm so behind in that. I have to start from zero. I have to rewatch all the cartoons that Americans watched. You know, there's so much for me to learn, and it's amazing. Thank you for the tips.
I don't know, maybe.
Oh, the plants look cool too.
Yeah,
Are
I was
those?
gonna do like a series of plants for the Good Morning, but it was just waking up and finding plants to draw. It just fizzled out. I think I was more comfortable with just drawing things from scratch. Even I like this rabbit, you know, just saying filthy. It's kind of like this hype beast kind of vibe where it's just like I'm filthy but I'm fly, you know, kind of
Filthy but fly, yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, but
Cool.
that's the book. That's my sketchbook.
Oh, I like that too.
I don't think I drew that one.
Really?
I think my nieces drew that one. I believe my nieces
I like
drew
it
that
though.
one.
I like it though. It kind of like makes this book even more interesting.
Yeah, yeah. Actually, this is a drawing that really started out as nothing. I didn't even think I knew where it was going, but it just ended up being cool, and I could see this. I think after a while, I'm like, once I see something and I'm just adding to it, I'm really just looking for that grounding composition. So I'll add things on either side of it or inside of it, or shade certain things to like find that balance of composition in the chaos. So even these extra legs really balance out this arm that's jutting out, you know, and this curve kind of leads your eye back around, and just like even the words kind of creates a full circle for your eyes to go.
And again, it's really great for a sticker. So.
Yep. So, and each of these little spaces could be a color, so it there's limitless
You know what?
potential.
I can even imagine like for an Instagram feed or something, little good morning sketches, but like a little advanced. So every single picture, kind of one of these sketches, but more like digitalized and with a little color. And it always says good morning. That would be so cool.
See, I have 3 Instagram accounts, guys.
Yeah?
I'm sorry, I have so many ideas. But there's an Instagram account which is where all of this Good Morning started, and it's a clothing brand that I've had for a long time, and it's called Fresh Coffee. And so if you think about coffee as a morning beverage, that was part of my branding, was just telling people good morning, because coffee, good morning. And then it just basically evolved into this ongoing thing. So I think for the first year, It was like 2014 that I started doing them.
Yeah.
And I did it for a whole year every single day. So there's a lot of these, and I keep doing them. Not every morning now because I feel like, it's whatever. I'll pay my dues.
Yeah.
But like, there's a lot of these, and it goes with this brand. So if you follow the Fresh Coffee page on Instagram, you'll see they're basically all in a row. I've really curated the page to just have all the good mornings in one column.
Ah, that's cool.
You know,
Well,
and then
great.
the other aesthetic photos or whatever that I curate in another 2 columns.
Cool.
So everyone can see all the good mornings that I've done on that Fresh Coffee page, and we'll probably like pub that a little bit later.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, and we have 3.5 minutes until chat and win. Thanks, Tim. And stay tuned to win some Sticker Mule stickers. So you can design your own design and put it on a sticker if you got inspired by this. Also, Lessa is asking, who are these little people on this page? Are they just imaginary? Or?
These are imaginary people. There's probably somebody they look like. There's probably someone that I've seen at some point in my life. I think that's why I love drawing people, because I'm always observing people and people watching. And I'm a street photographer, so I think that feeds into my love of watching people. So I'm like always out in the streets and just noticing unique folks, and I think that goes into this cerebral library, and as I'm drawing over time, there's these people that trickle out into the drawings at some capacity. So are they real people in some capacity? Probably, yeah. But I'm not necessarily imagining their face as I'm drawing. It's just kind of like already in me. So maybe that answers the question. Draw me, please.
Cool. Who else is a lefty?
Like Eric?
Somebody said,
wait,
Nora is saying, it's true that creatives are lefties generally? Maybe.
The right creatives.
The right creatives, yeah.
See what I did there? Yeah.
Mia is also lefty. Yeah, who else is a lefty? Let us know. Let's see.
Can all the right-handed people just kind of exit the chat? Is that okay? Can we have just the lefties?
Just the lefties, please.
You know, they give us scissors, but it's not the same. You know, they make us a store, but it's not cool to go into the store.
Yeah. Marisa is also lefty.
Righty.
Steve is the righty.
Okay, Steve.
Cool.
Caricatures? I don't really do caricatures. I think William asked that. Yeah. I think I'm a little bit outside of the caricature world, but I take a lot of inspiration from the caricature world. So there's a little bit of stretch and playfulness going on with the faces that I make, but the pressure of making it look like someone is a little bit outside of my means at the moment.
Yeah. Yeah, use both. That's actually a good point. Imagine you could write and draw with both hands. That would be really cool.
I do draw with both hands.
Yeah?
I do paint with both hands. I think the less dominant hand just offers a different style. It's not necessarily bad.
Yeah.
I think it's just a matter of accepting, like, this looks more raw than my dominant hand. And then you can kind of go back and forth and create something that's both raw and refined.
Cool. Awesome. Yeah, so check out Fresh Coffee. So what's the next step? What have you planned for today?
So today I would love to collaborate with you and create something totally new. And I think it'll be fun and very insightful into my process to have you all watch us create something from scratch and have no idea where it's going to lead. But I think it's going to be fun.
Yeah, I think so too. I'm already thinking, what am I going to do? What am I going to sketch?
You can't think, though.
Okay,
it's just a matter of like
no, I'm not going to be able to plan it anyway. But we have the chat and win right now, guys. So feel free to type anything in the chat. And the winner will be here with us in a little bit. So just type anything in the chat to participate in the chat and win. And the fireworks, chat and win, type away, type anything into the chat, and win some really cool stickers to make some some like that for yourself. Or some like that. Oh, you have fresh coffee sticker right
look
there.
at that.
So,
Y'all see that?
show us off. What kind of stickers do you have there?
So I have a fresh coffee sticker. I'll show the ones that I've done actually.
Yeah.
So this is my favorite coffee shop in the city right now, or the one I frequent the most because it's in the Mission. Shout out to Grand Coffee. Snowbird, also a favorite coffee shop. I worked with them. It was my first time in the Bay, and I worked with them.
Makes me want some coffee.
Yeah, and so I did their logo and worked a lot with their branding. And then my friend Sammy, I did his logo. My late friend Alex G, we worked a lot together, and I drew this logo.
And we have a winner.
So yeah.
Vikas Tiwari. Congratulations. We're going to get in touch with you shortly through Behance, so stay tuned. Congratulations.
Need some stickers. I need some more stickers. I feel like I'm out of stickers.
For sure.
Now.
And for all of you who haven't won today, you can go to stickermule.com slash Adobe Live 20.
My sister's on.
Oh,
PR
cool.
event.
And there you can get 10 Sticker Mule stickers for only $1. And as far as I know, the delivery in the US is free. So just $1 for 10 stickers.
Nice.
That's really cheap. So yeah.
Tight.
Awesome. Cool.
So you want to get into it?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
So we have blank piece of paper. There's nothing on the paper. Maybe we can.
No magic tricks
no
here.
Magic. There's no smoke and mirrors.
And the sketch is right there.
Let's do it, right? So, what we're gonna do, you're gonna use with the pencil.
Okay.
That way we can get like a different texture on it.
Okay.
So try not to like overthink. Just you can make shapes, you can make lines. They don't have to connect. They can overlap. You know, they can be whatever you want them to be, and we can just have fun with it. You can make multiple too. Yeah, there you go. You can get a little crazy too if you want. Just you're overthinking it. No, keep going. Just one more. Just
One more?
Uh-huh. I'm sorry. All right, cool. All right, let's do it. So,
right.
I kind of like to just flip it around a little bit. I see something, but maybe I don't want to go with that first one.
I think I gave you a good basis.
You
Like
did
there is
give
a
me a good
lot.
basis.
There's a lot you can interpret it.
I think so. You know what? What would it be like if the dinosaurs came back? I wonder what it'd be like. I think I will do, because I see a little dinosaur guy. And I
Okay.
feel like let's just go with the dinosaur.
Okay.
I'm going to name him Terry.
Kiara is saying already see a dragon.
Oh, okay.
And Blenda is saying it's definitely a skull.
I'm going to name him Terry. Terry the T-Rex. Okay.
Terry T-Rex.
So, let's do...
Kyle is seeing a Jeep. I like Jeeps.
I like Jeeps too.
I was about to buy one, but they're so uncomfortable for long rides. But I think they're really cool. And they keep their value too.
You can go mudding in a Jeep.
Yeah, but that's something you do maybe once a year, but not
Once
really.
a year?
I don't know.
I don't know. That sounds like an everyday thing. Like you just pray for
I can already
rain
see
so
what
you
you're
can just
doing
go
there.
muddy.
Yeah, and especially in Denver where I'm living, there's great areas to go mudding, I heard. So that would actually be cool. Maybe as a second car, but not as a main car. I need something more comfy.
I see. You know, I kind of like a good hairstyle.
And an antenna.
Like maybe there we go.
Isn't how when there's no hair on top anymore and then they comb it over to the other side?
Oh yeah, like a little orange man. You know?
Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah.
Oh, am I saying it's a dinosaur? Yes.
Let's
And the
make
dinosaur's
this.
name is Terry T-Rex.
Terry T-Rex, yeah. So
He's a smart dinosaur, though. You can see he's wearing glasses and he has this very fancy hairstyle.
You know what? Let's make this. Let's make that.
Phil is saying, yeah, I still have back pain from my old Jeep.
Let's make that. Let's do.
Not good.
Let's do this here.
Blenda is saying it's eating books.
It's eating books. It could be eating books. Yeah, I'm not really feeling this.
Oh yeah,
There
I like
we
this
go.
hair better.
There we go. The other hair was not really.
It's not only looking smart but also creative now.
Yeah, there we go. And up here is really the brain. You know,
Yeah. That's where the good
necessarily-
ideas come from.
Yeah. There we go. A little bit of fuzz there.
It's funny because we talked about Bob Ross and about having big hair.
We're gonna do the-
So yeah, now it's Bob Ross, the T-Rex.
Let's give it some chops there, you know.
Yeah.
There we go. There we go. Give me a little.
Gucho is saying crocodile sitting down. Who knows?
Crocodile sitting down. Maybe.
Maybe he's sitting down. Maybe he's standing up.
There we go. Yeah, I like that.
Tim is saying Disco Bob.
Disco Bob. Yeah, okay. Let's do. Maybe let's do a little turtleneck.
Yeah, turtlenecks. That's so 80s, right?
Yeah, there we go. And then.
It reminds me of like New York art scene. We were talking about Jean-Michel Basquiat. In case you guys know the artist, he also went always really, really crazy with his with the content of his paintings. You have to definitely check him out. And so there is a movie with Jean-Michel Basquiat called Downtown 81. And you have this New York scene in the 80s, and it's just amazing. So I feel like this character would like fit right in.
I just saw something. So let's carry out this what I just saw. So let's make.
Oh, music instrument?
No, we're gonna make him.
Ronald, the trumpet player, Moriel is saying.
I'll make him have a little spray can there. I think that'll be cool.
Alma is asking, is saying, I haven't heard about Miguel Basquiat. It's Jean-Michel Basquiat, by the way.
Jean-Michel. Haitian, you know, right next to Jamaica, actually.
Yeah.
You know, y'all know I'm from Jamaica, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a nice
Ooh.
little neighbor there.
Oh, he's spraying.
Yeah, just a
Cool.
little. Might as well, you know.
Yeah, might as well.
And then we'll put the. He's just out in the New York streets right now.
Yeah.
It's kind of cold. Then we'll make this his knees. There we go. Give him some bell bottoms, maybe.
Yeah. Perfect.
Give him some platforms.
Muriel is saying jazz. Yes, I think the jazz scene was really, really big at that time.
Boom. Yeah, there we go.
There was a movie in 1996 about Basquiat. I haven't seen that one actually, but in Downtown 81 he's playing himself, which is really cool. And then you'll see like the artists like Andy Warhol, the real one, inside that movie.
The real one.
The real one. So.
The real one. Huh?
Oh, I have seen shoes like that in real life.
Yeah. We're just going off of
Yeah.
what I see here. So maybe he's like.
Alma is saying he's cleaning the viruses in the air.
Okay.
If there is any. Questionable.
You know what? Let's just give him a little booty right there. Yeah, there
Federico, hi Julia. Hi Federico.
There it is.
Federico Favoretto. Sounds very Italian. Let us know where you're from. I want to know if I'm right.
That does sound a little Italian. Where
Yeah.
are you from, Federico?
Federico Favoretto.
Maybe another fish there.
You need to have this, you know, like this Italian pronunciation.
You know what?
The goldfish shoes, classic. Yep.
See, and then you kind of give him a little flare on the pants here. Da-da.
Ooh,
You know, and then da-da.
cool.
Give him a little high waist, Because, you know,
Yeah.
everybody loves a good high waist
Yeah.
pants. There we go. Boom. And then let's do maybe his
Awesome.
other hand back here. And like I was saying, just finding the balance.
Yeah, Mia's saying she liked the painting that Warhol did of Basquiat, and
Look
he
at
peed on
that.
it. Yeah, Warhol
Look at
did a bunch of crazy stuff.
Warhol was a mad genius.
Yeah.
So was Basquiat.
Yeah, this is cool. I like this.
Let's do maybe like
A little type. Adobe. Oh yeah.
there it is.
Awesome.
There it is. All right. So I feel like
Spraying some Adobe at you.
all right. I feel like, you know, we'll go. Actually, you know, let's bring the composition down here a little bit.
Antonio is asking no red pencil today.
No red pencil.
There's
We're just
no
gonna
way
go
back.
straight into this. You know, I had a pen phase for about 2 years, and I think that's where I developed this confidence to just draw with anything and view mistakes as not mistakes, really,
Yeah.
and just see them as part of the process. So I think sometimes I'll do the pencil if I'm really trying to get a certain thing, but I don't really like that line. See that? Look at that. And now we fixed it. But, you know, I think the pencil is not necessarily needed all the time. I think sometimes it can be too much of a crutch.
Yeah.
And sometimes you just gotta like feel it and just go with the flow.
Yeah.
Maybe, you know, we'll give him like a little.
Timo is saying let Julia finish it. I'm not sure if that's a good idea. I think it is already finished.
I think we're good now.
Yeah.
I think we're good.
We're good.
So, yeah, we can definitely go into maybe Adobe Capture and
Yeah,
see.
let's make this digital. That would be exciting.
So, here it is, guys. Boom.
Cool.
Boom, boom.
Yay.
These are her lines here. And so,
Applause,
made it
applause.
Terry. So, let's take this to Adobe Capture here.
By the way, I like your little Bean Boy sticker here.
Yeah, so that's my little character, and
Yeah.
he's a wonderful person. Little superhero. Also hopped up on coffee.
Of course.
He has all these coffee powers. So we're gonna take and we're gonna do Adobe Capture and maybe
You go landscape. On
Yeah.
your iPad.
oh yeah.
There you go.
There we
Okay.
go. So now we can basically
We're gonna capture,
look at this.
The
y'all.
drawing.
This is so cool. Actually, let's turn this. Boom.
and I think this is the slider that you can use to.
Yeah, we're gonna try to
Oh.
figure out what we want to do with this here. So I have the slider on the right.
And there you can increase the amount of color that's being
Yeah.
captured.
Look at all that. Look at all that. Okay.
Oh,
I
yes.
think I want like a little bit of,
A little bit of green.
yeah, just a little bit.
Yeah.
Like right there.
That's cool.
So I'm gonna capture. Boom.
Yay!
And then
Now we bring this into
I'm
Illustrator.
gonna save
right?
it. Yeah, I'm gonna save it to
Save it into the libraries, and then you can
library.
just open it in your Illustrator because
Yep,
it's already saved to the
and
libraries.
what we have in the library. So now we're gonna go to my Illustrator here.
And it's already vectorized, right?
Yeah, it's already vectorized.
So we can easily
let's
recolor
see
it and,
here.
you know, modify the vectors.
There we go. All right,
Mohammed
so-
is saying you're an innovative 2020 version of Picasso.
Thank you.
I think that's a
you.
big compliment.
Yeah, I appreciate that,
Yeah.
Mohammed. Okay, so now I'm going to open up another, so we'll have this space that we're gonna create, and then we'll zoom in a little bit. And
And by the way, we have the design feedback for your daily creative challenges in 44 minutes and 40 seconds.
okay.
So make sure to submit your artwork.
So,
and
let's see.
I would like to show you real quick how you can submit your artwork and how you can participate. So if you go onto behance.net/challenge/Photoshop, you can see the Daily Creative Challenge page for Photoshop. And here you can click on Take the Challenge, and you will be guided to the community that we have to share, which is a Discord channel. And if you go further down in the page, you have the little description, how it works, join the community chat, which is the Discord channel where we discuss the artworks and like give each other feedback. So today's challenge is retouching. Enhance a photo in Lightroom, then use Photoshop to apply more advanced edits with content-aware fill and a spot healing brush tool. So here you can watch a little video how to what the challenge exactly is and how to do it, and you can get started and start your artwork. You get some a file where you can start it off with, and you can submit your daily creative challenge photo in the Discord channel, which we're going to be reviewing in 43 minutes.
Are people submitting selfies too? Is that a thing?
Haven't seen it yet, but
Okay,
could be a possibility.
All right. So now we're gonna. I see you have my library over here, and so I can basically, because it's in the cloud, just drag this over here.
Yes.
And now I have it. Look,
Ooh.
it's pretty large. So
That's good. The larger, the better.
what I look for is, see, I like all this little dust over here.
Yeah.
And yesterday, I basically used some of that dust in the final drawing.
Yeah.
But for the sake of this, I'm just going to...
Should we move these windows a little too?
Yeah.
So
So I'll show you guys what I'm doing a little bit. I kind of keep these windows. For sure, I'm going to be using transparency. This is what I use the most, the Pathfinder tool. Not really a big gradient guy. I like flat colors and just basically using color families together.
This offset print style, right?
Yeah, so I kind of like that kind of style. So
Cool.
I'll group all this together, cut it out, and I'll move this out of the way for just right now. And then we'll just go back to the screen here. And
Teddy's saying you view mistakes as opportunities. He likes that.
Thank you. Yeah, they should be, because I mean, in life, you can't control things, you know?
Yeah.
And when you get it, you just gotta rethink how you accept it.
Yeah.
And most of the time, it's just a little lesson that's in disguise. So, all right, so now we got Terry. Terry with the Adobe Aerosol.
Terry. I know a Terry.
Do you
A
know
Terry,
Terry?
a Terry White from Adobe. He's an evangelist. He's a really cool guy. He knows everything about everything.
See, I gotta
He's
meet
very
Terry.
smart.
I gotta meet Terry.
Yeah, you gotta meet Terry.
So I'm thinking I will go with, I'm gonna use this Pantone Solid, but I want to go grab some colors and maybe we can, oh wait, look at that. Wait, that was kind of cool. Maybe I'll just,
Tim is saying just looks like him. Yeah.
oh, okay. Maybe I'll just color different parts of it, you know? Maybe
Cool.
this little orange.
Alberto is saying Terry White is boss.
Terry what?
Terry White, the guy I was telling you about.
Oh, yeah.
He's the boss, yeah.
Yeah, actually, let's go grab some colors. So I have a board on my Pinterest, and Pinterest is just the Bugs 87. Everything is always the Bugs. So I want to go and look for this one board I have where I basically dump a lot of my color findings and palettes that I really like. And we're gonna use color.adobe to extract some of the colors that I find really nice. And then bring that into the drawing and kind of play around and see what we like. So let's look for a T-Rex kind of color palette maybe.
I thought if you go to the top, I thought this one it kind of
That one?
maybe would work because it has a
Oh,
lot of
the
orange tones and the
green.
green and the dark as a contrast.
Let's do that. Let's
maybe,
so
yeah.
yesterday we did the little
Screenshot.
screenshot. Boom, and then we went
Technically,
to,
you can just pull any picture into a color.adobe.com if you go on to,
Bum, bum, bum.
there we go,
And
into
then where's...
create, and then extract theme. It's over here.
Oh, there we go. Okay.
And then you can just drag and drop your file, whatever it
Drag and
is.
drop.
And then
So-
the color palette will be extracted from the picture.
I'm going to drag this over here. Boom. Then here we go. And so it kind of gives us this right off the bat. And then you can kind of move it around to get the right green that you want. I like that green.
Yeah.
I think we have a lot of the warm colors
Yeah.
already. So
Maybe we can add
maybe
some
we can
other color in
go-
the end also.
maybe we can go like that right there. This orange is already there, so maybe let's get this dark green and maybe kind of maybe a black. Maybe like a deeper orange. There we go. So yeah, so I like this, and then save to my library, and then we'll go back over here and then go to my libraries, and
And
there
you
it
have the
is.
color palette there.
So now
So easy.
maybe let's make
Glenda is saying didn't know. That's cool. Yeah.
yeah, so now we are right where we want to be.
Yes.
And then I will do a few of these. Maybe make this, ooh, just from the wrong color. So maybe make that orange. And then
Yeah.
we'll see where we can connect certain things. So I think for this right here, I want to connect these lines right here. And I'll show you why I love the Pathfinder tool. Because I want to be able to just have this as a shape that I can actually color and use. And a lot of the times, if you don't close the path, then whenever you select try to color, it's going to color whatever's open. So this shape right now is closed. So I'm basically going to group it all together or select it all. And I think that's all selected. And then we're going to go to the Pathfinder tool and unite.
So then we
So
kind
now-
of unite these shapes into one.
Right, exactly. And so now, actually, I want to do that with the pens too.
Cool. Teddy's saying, I've been watching and had to make an account to join the conversation. Really enjoying the creative process. Mind blowing from ink to digital, like boom. Gotta love it.
I'm
Well,
glad
welcome,
you're here.
Teddy. Yeah,
I'm glad
it's great
you're
you're
here.
here. We're all learning from each other. Feel free to join the Discord community as well. You can post your designs and get some feedback. So it's always cool,
I'm going to
you know,
close this again with the
to learn together.
Unify tool. And then now I'm going to take it all and then use this divide and create this as different shapes. And so I'll go in here into the grouped and then select the black, select same, fill color, group that, and then select the rest, everything that isn't black. Actually, did I do, oh, I see. Hang on just a second, y'all. Let's do this again. Okay.
Clever is saying, oh, I want to use cleanup so badly on this work.
No, see, if you use cleanup, then that's, you can't really, you know, get some of
Yeah,
the goods.
the good stuff.
Yeah. So let's see. Oh, that's what that was. Okay. So it looks like we lost the fishes here. Let's figure out where they are. If we move that to the back, there they are.
Yay.
Okay. So now I'll select everything that we colored as the fish. Group that. There's a fish here. There's another
Cool.
fish here. And then we can group these two together. And boom. Okay, so I think that's everything in the shape. Oh, there's one more.
Sean is asking, are you using your trackpad? Yes.
Man, y'all hear these clicks?
And the magic is
Y'all
he's
hear
right-handed
these
on
clicks.
his magic
I am
pad.
right-handed, clicking away. I haven't really gotten used to using the pencil. I just got the iPad pencil. It'll be another learning curve to go from real pencil to iPad pencil and still feel, this seamless.
Yeah.
But I'm so used to the trackpad. I do most of my work with the trackpad. It's just over time I've developed a certain rhythm that I can go straight into the trackpad. I know my shortcut keys, and so I'm just a pianist on these keys right now. So
Yeah. Sometimes I feel like I'm a musician because I'm always going like
yeah,
and all the shortcuts.
And
And
I'll see people try to like do it with the pencil. I'm like, yeah, you're too slow.
Right. So when somebody asks you what instrument do you play?
Keys.
I play the keyboard.
Play the keys all day.
Yeah.
So now we can kind of get into choosing different shapes to make certain colors, and so we can do.
Oh yeah, I love some green pants.
Yeah, so we can do
That's amazing.
those. And see, I like this little in-between orange pop. And then we can do maybe, let's put the black, I like to do this. Let's put the black on its own layer so that way we're not interfering with us playing with the color underneath. And we'll just lock that. And then now can go back into the libraries. I kind of like this color right here. But see, it's too dull. I think yesterday we just had some dull colors.
Yeah, I think the combination of the colors was different.
Yeah, so let's go with the bright, maybe the yellow, a little funky dinosaur dragon. And I think what I'll do is lay these down as the base colors, and then we'll go into the Pantone solid coat, and we'll like probably find some different shades of the same color. So that way we can create a bit more of a depth.
Yeah. So the Pantone libraries are really good when you're really printing with Pantone colors. I think so. If you export the file, the printer knows exactly the number of the Pantone color to use. If it's, for example, an offset print, right?
Right, and so they can essentially find and print the exact color you use.
The exact color, yeah.
Because there's a formula into making the Pantone colors.
Yeah.
Whereas if you just choose from the computer and a number, 9 times out of 10, it's like a digital version of that. So the Pantone, there's an actual physical book with the makeup of that same color. And so I've mixed a lot of color from my screen prints, and it just comes out exactly how it's supposed to come out because there's a formula with numbers.
Yeah. And usually if you export a file like this for a digital print, for example, the printer at home or bigger printers, you export in CMYK. And if you export it for viewing it on the computer or on any screen, you use the digital color export RGB. So that's how you export to, for example, publishing it on social media or wherever digitally you want to publish the artwork. Because if you now, this exact same thing, export in CMYK, the colors will look different on your screen just because they're coded differently and they're coded for the printer.
That's good to know. Valuable information.
Yeah, I had to learn it the hard way.
Who didn't know that? I wonder if who didn't know that.
Yeah.
Because it is a thing that you forget sometimes.
And also things that you don't necessarily learn that much. I feel like print technology, what paper to use for what kind of print is very important to know because the paper can soak up a lot of color and then the color will look darker than you expected. So there's different coatings, there's different ways of mixing color. There's more shinier color paint, right? And more matte. So that will also, create a different outcome.
Yeah, because, even different color paper, when you print that ink, it'll
Yeah.
dry darker. So most of the
Yeah.
time I'll print a lighter square above what I need,
Mm-hmm.
just so when it dries, it'll dry to the square that I need.
Yeah. For example, if you have some natural paper
Mhm.
that's a little bit more beige than white, definitely consider that.
Yeah, there's rules to this.
Yes.
Okay, so I wanted to see how this, whenever I click it, it colors everything because there are openings. And so what I'm doing now is just closing some of those openings. And in theory, I can separate what I need. And I just made them a different color just so I can see. And if we go down here, there's another one,
Mm-hmm.
actually. And then I'll click the orange, and then I'll divide.
Mm-hmm.
So now, I'll double click into that.
Okay, now Nelson is saying a Jamaican creator on here. Men love that.
There it is. Boop, boop, boop. I like my curry. I like my ackee and saltfish. So many things I miss about my home.
Yeah.
Okay. So, didn't really work down here. I think I was thinking like the black would work, but it's on a separate layer. So, I do believe we have this separated though now. Yep.
Yeah.
And let's see what else we have separated. Oh, okay, cool. So we have good separation here. And even this little guy right here. Perfect. This didn't really...
It looks like
Okay.
the person is wearing gloves. You know, where you cut out the the finger.
So we're gonna group this two together, like that. And maybe, like even this too, could be nice. This could be maybe a yellow. And actually, let's color the insides too. So, oh, they're open. Okay, that's why. We'll not worry about that. Maybe we'll just...
And the cool thing about having this, you know, imperfect is that the shapes are all different. It's not a copy of each, and it's always exciting to watch.
Right.
You know, you get more into detail and you can look more closely, and you will always, you know, discover some little details that will keep you interested.
And so I want to close these nostrils. So I usually do, if I want to just close the inside, I'll just do divide and then unite. And now it's all one. So
Cool.
I feel like nostrils should be black, should be dark.
Yeah.
You know, it's like you're looking into the hole of someone's nose.
And it's dark in there.
It's dark in there.
Yeah.
There's gold in there, but it's still dark. So let's do what we did yesterday as well. And I zoom in and zoom out a lot. I'm sorry, guys.
No, this is good. This is how it should be.
So let's maybe do some offsetting here. And because this is going to be behind the fro, and I just need the shape, I'm not really worried about it overlapping because you can always hide things.
Yeah.
And then you close it, and then we'll just make this orange, I guess, for now. And then we'll just push it to the back. And then maybe copy paste this. And then use the transparencies, maybe overlay, change the color.
Yeah, we should create another color or use another color from... Oh, okay.
Yeah, something like that.
All right, that works.
Maybe do this again, and then just to make it bigger,
Bam.
you know. And then probably do a different transparency. Not really feeling that. Ooh.
What?
Let's do that here too. Okay. Wait, which one did I use? It's the color Dodge. Okay.
And it looks like red nails too. Do you see that?
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh, this is
Trying to make
crazy.
that shape, and that's just the negative space too.
It's just a happy accident.
Look at that.
Yeah,
Look at that.
I love that.
And maybe we'll do.
Clever saying dig for gold in those nostrils.
There you go. See? She knows a little bit about that, huh? All right, let's see. Maybe let's try something else different. Ooh, that created a little bit of purple. Exclusion. All right.
Tim is asking, no layers today?
No layers today. Well, we have one layer, and that's just a key layer, and I'll probably mess with that after I'm satisfied with the fills. I think that keeping the layers separate and keeping your key layer above helps me feel grounded, because I know as I'm working my color palette out, I'm not really messing with what is like the key layer. And so the line work stays the same. And eventually, like, I'll change the color, because sometimes black is so harsh that it upsets the harmony of the colors you choose. So a lot of times I won't use black in the design. I don't use black a lot when I paint either. I think it's just such a rich contrast that it doesn't need to be used all the time, especially like in line work. You know, you can find something that makes it a softer line, like it could be a darker gray, but jet black sometimes like really makes it feel rigid. So, memo to yourself, maybe you should try some other colors and just see what happens.
Yeah, another question from Marisa. When you moved to the US, did you get to visit often?
I went back a lot. The first 10 years. Actually, no, the first 5 years I went back a lot. And then there was an 18-year gap before I went back, which was back in 2017. And a lot had changed in the country, and I had grown, the country had grown. So it was interesting to just go back to a country that you're from, but you feel foreign to. And a lot of my family's still there, so it was nice seeing them and getting to meet new family members. But it definitely was an experience, a very emotional experience. But I'll be going back more often now. I think you just got to go back once to just be able to go back all the time.
I haven't been in the Ukraine in a long time as well.
Oh,
We
yeah.
always
You came
always
over
used.
here when you were younger too, huh?
I went to Germany first.
Oh, that's right.
So it's my second immigration. So first I immigrated to Germany when I was 9 years old. And then 3 years ago, I immigrated to the US. So when we moved to Germany, we used to visit like every 1 or 2 years. So I used to see my family a lot. But since I feel like the past 4 years, I haven't been there in a while. So I need to go again. It will be great to see family. Massimiliano, ciao Julia, wie geht es? Good. How are you?
Wow. See now. See the shape right here? I want to color that. So maybe I can do...
Yay.
And then we'll move
Those
that.
colors are so unusual. They're like all in the mix. I like it.
And we're just having fun. So
Yeah.
maybe I'll put that here. See now though. I wonder if we can...
Tim was saying now you can host a German stream. Yeah, I definitely could. It would be a pleasure. It would be great.
See. I would do
Gucho is saying
really.
a psychedelic background.
a psychedelic background.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The colors. I mean, you can really dive deep into this
I mean,
illustration.
it's got to be the font, though, you know? So,
Yeah.
I mean, it works.
Funky.
It works for the design. Sometimes, like, when you're doing the design, you got to kind of put yourself in that era of time. You know, if
Yeah.
I'm doing a funky design, I can't go with the safe colors. I got to
Yes.
go with something that just boggles my eye a little bit, but bring it down some, you know, because there still has to be harmony.
Yeah.
So I feel like I've been neglecting these fishes.
Yeah.
Maybe let's...
Make the fishes pop.
Ooh, look at that purple, though.
Yeah.
See that?
Yeah, it's cool.
All right, let's do...
William is saying I was born and raised in Pensacola, Florida. Pensacola.
Ooh, I was in Fort Lauderdale. I forgot
Ah.
where Pensacola is.
And
Is that
moved
the
to-
south tip?
I'm not sure. And moved to Shreveport, Louisiana, October 2010, and have not even been back for vacation.
Mm.
Yeah.
Why is that, man?
Teddy saying, say something in German. Hallöchen.
Oh,
Hallöchen, wie geht's?
that.
Means, hi, how are you? But Hallöchen is more like the cute version of hi in German.
Wait, what's the another version of it?
Hallo. Hello.
Hello. Okay.
Or hi.
Uh,
Or guten Tag.
I've heard that one.
That
I've heard
means
that
good day,
Oh,
basically.
okay.
So it's more like when you go into the office and you wanna greet your colleagues, you say guten Tag or guten
I
Morgen.
see.
Yeah. Cool.
Now I feel like.
Massimiliano is asking, why are the German streams so rare? Yeah, we need more German streams, please. Tim, let us know. When are the streams? How can we, what's the link for that? Maybe people who are here from Germany have a better time watching it from Germany in German language.
I think maybe a different color. Ooh,
Yeah,
kind of like that now.
that's cool.
These
I love this
colors.
yellow. This yellow is popping. And I can really imagine it when you print it because there is this really, really shiny highlighter yellow, right? That you can use.
Sometimes the highlighter yellow is too much on the eyes, but if you put different colors next to it,
Yeah.
you know, it can kind of bring it down to where you can absorb it better. Sometimes I've seen designs where it's just all highlighter vibrancy.
Yeah.
And it really hurts your eyes and you can't really focus for too long. It looks cool, but you know, if you have highlighter on white and there's no like grounding color, like a dark color, you're just basically blinding yourself. You
Yeah,
know, it's like
that's
looking
true.
into the sun basically.
Yeah, the highlighter needs to be used with caution. You know how you highlight too much and then everything's highlighted and you can't read anything anymore.
Yep.
That's how I sometimes felt in school when we had an assignment, and I thought everything was important, so I was just highlighting. But that's not the purpose of highlighting, because
Exactly.
if the majority is highlighted, actually the majority is not highlighted, because then you end up reading the stuff that's not highlighted.
Yep. So now I want to start messing with the line work and
Cool.
maybe something that's dark but not black.
Alberto is saying we need Spanish streams. Yeah,
Yes,
for sure.
we do. Yes, we do.
For sure.
I went to Oaxaca last November. Beautiful place. First time in Mexico, and that's where I went.
I went to
I have to go
Cancun.
back. I have to go back.
Yeah.
You know, I think I had a chance to go to Cancun as like a high school field trip. But my mom didn't let me go. But, you know, I think when I finally was able to go to Mexico and we went to Oaxaca, it was perfect because they had some of my favorite things. I love chapulines, which are the little crickets. Real crunchy and savory and spicy. And then they have mezcal. And have you ever had mezcal?
Yes. Yeah.
There's so much
Good.
mezcal.
Yes. Yeah.
So, you know, I definitely want to go back. And the people were just beautiful. You know, all my Spanish from high school was like coming back.
Yeah.
But I didn't feel rushed. You know, there's a lot of patience for me trying to say derecho, you know. And I think it was just a beautiful experience. And it reminded me a lot of Jamaica, actually. And I was just happy we were there about a week and it was beautiful.
Yeah.
So how was Cancun?
Cancun was very touristy. I was staying in the touristy area, unfortunately. I always like to explore, you know, the real life of people. So I would go into the city, but we didn't have the chance. We were there only for 24 hours, just for a very short trip. So, but I'm really excited to go back and to see more and explore more. Maybe not dress too touristy and really go into the country. That would be so cool.
Yeah, I think that's what we want to do on the next trip. My partner and I, we went down there, and I think the next trip we do, we want to get a car, and because most of the cool sites were also outside of the city proper, and you know, it would be nice to drive out there and just like get lost in
Yeah, that's what I
like
want to
the
do too.
outskirts a little
Yes. I love doing that. I've been doing a lot of road trips in India also, and people told me, it's dangerous, blah blah. You know, don't do that. And I'm just a very curious person, so I really want to try and discover and see. So I was never scared, and I never had bad
Funky.
experiences. Ooh.
That's a little
crazy.
funky, though.
So yeah, even traveling in India, even by myself, I had no problem whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes, you know, the media tells you things that are not necessarily true in the whole country. So
I mean, yeah, look at Africa. Africa's a beautiful spot, but man, the propaganda behind that was great.
all you see is the bad things. That's the
All you see is bad
exactly.
things, but I'm glad more people are venturing and seeing the beauty. Same thing with Jamaica. I feel like we get a lot of the tourist commercials and, you know, all the hotels and all that stuff. But then, you know, I always appreciate when people go deep into Jamaica and see like the rich culture that we have and food and stuff.
I would love to do that. Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Teddy's asking, is there a technique beyond a method beyond the madness, or is it just madness?
The method behind this is
This is
just
Paco's Tunes.
go with the flow.
Paco's Tunes, chill hop / listen.
Not mine, but that's a provider.
Okay, that's the provider. Yeah. Okay.
It's just to go with the flow. I mean, honestly, having fun is the best part of it. And you know, even this design, I could say it's finished and do something like, because some of the best designs that I've collected, and I collect a lot of different designs, is something that doesn't feel like it's easily replicated, right? It feels there's something foreign to it, where whoever was creating it, the act of them creating it is what makes the design so powerful.
Yeah.
And it's not
even you can replicate it.
Yeah, like for me, like tomorrow or even after this, just like figuring out the same method to recreating it, I think is damn near impossible. And I wouldn't even try it, because it's like, why would you try to replicate something that was so organic in the making, right? And you know, I'll group this together, you know, because we're pretty much at the end of it. But looking at this as, you know, if you were to make a poster, you know, you could put this like right here and put words, or, you know, have text down here, right? Let's just say Adobe. Usually I do my text in InDesign. Sorry, I jump back and forth to different
You can go
programs.
to properties.
Properties.
And there you have all those settings.
Look at that.
So I think properties is a great panel to use, because whenever you click on something, it shows you the exact options for this object. So if it's let's say if it's a shape, a colored shape, it shows you, you know, the color palettes and all the necessary stuff. So for text, it shows you the text options, character options,
Look at that.
which is great. It's my favorite.
Where are my,
Typefaces?
well, just my capitals and,
Oh, yeah.
here
Actually,
we go.
yeah.
Boom.
There we go.
So we'll just come down maybe a little bit here.
Oh, yeah. There we go.
So,
Oh, let's make it funky, too. Ooh.
yeah, let's do a little bit of, let's do this.
You know, you can outline that, and then you can really...
Okay.
Design.
Maybe I should treat it as just, I was gonna put some text underneath, but let's just play around with it. So what I usually do with text is, before I export it, you know, you create the outlines, which is, I was about to do it on my hotkeys, but I wanted to show you guys. So go to type, create outlines, where is it? Oh,
Yeah, there we go. Create outlines.
there we go.
Yes.
So now you can edit this, right? And break it apart, ungroup it.
And you can get into the madness again.
Yeah, and it's just
if you like.
bringing this in, and then we can even do, where are my strokes here? Ba, ba, ba.
Yeah, right there.
Everything's so easy.
Mohammed is inviting us to Dubai. You and
Hey.
me. So We are
when that
invited
ticket
to be their guest.
comes in my email, you know, I'm there.
He's going.
I'm going. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never been to Dubai. I think it would be a beautiful trip as well.
Yeah.
So for this O, I want to be able to color on the inside.
Mm-hmm.
So what I do is I go to Object. Come on. Don't tell me we have a slow.
Santaji was asking if I was driving in India. No, I wasn't driving. I would not be able to drive there. You probably need to honk a lot.
Same thing in Jamaica. Jamaica is like some of the craziest
Crazy,
driving. The roads are smaller and
Yeah.
on cliffs. Like I lived in the mountains when I lived there, and so like the roads are, you know, barely 2 lanes, and
It's an
you're
art.
just on the side of cliffs. And
It's
people
an
are just
art.
like going around.
It's an
It's
art.
definitely a skill.
Also, in Italy, the roads sometimes get smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller, and you end up with like just a little couple inches on each side of the car, and you're like, ugh, I can't pass through here.
Some of the best.
So you have to return,
Some of the best drivers.
and there will be like houses on the side, so there will be people coming out and helping you guide the car.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool.
So, but yeah, to answer your question, I was never using a car. I also didn't have a driver's license at that point, so I didn't even know how to drive. I used rickshaws in the city or cabs, but mostly rickshaws because it's just fun and it's cheap. So, but then moving from city to city, I used mostly buses because they have those amazing sleeping buses and they go overnight and they're only a couple dollars. So you can sleep in them, and literally it was the best experience ever. You just go on a night bus, you don't have to pay for a hotel, and the next day you end up in a different city, which is amazing. It was my favorite way to travel. But also I took the train, which was also a lot of fun. Yeah, I had a lot of fun traveling.
Let's do this.
Bombay, New Delhi, yeah, I was in both. I used to study at the NID, National Institute of Design, in India. We had like an exchange program with my university, so that was a great experience.
So what I did was I went up to Object, Expand, and then it'll give you options, fill and stroke, and I just usually press OK. I don't really change anything. And so it allows me to go inside the type, inside this, because now it's the shape, and I can play around with the stroke here. I can play around with this fill. I can play around with the inner stroke, and I can also play around with this fill. So it's just giving you more options. So I'll like fill this here. Actually, let's get out of here.
Yeah, we have only 6 minutes until the reviews of the Daily Creative Challenge, so make sure to submit your work in Discord.
So we'll do this, and we'll get in here, and we'll do.
Marisa is saying, when I went to England, we would be driving around the smaller towns and there will be 2 lanes, then one of them would disappear, even though it was still a 2-lane road.
Disappear.
Happens. The lane just disappeared.
That sounds kind of crazy, actually.
Yeah. It does.
So I mean, that's
Cool.
probably something cool.
Yeah.
And then we can basically put maybe a small blurb underneath. Thanks for watching. And Adobe is cool. And then we can properties again. And then really put this maybe 18. Let's write some more stuff. I don't know. What do you want to write? Be like
I don't know.
Germany.
Stay funky.
Ooh, stay funky. And keep it.
Nuno just joined us. Hello from Portugal. Cool.
Oh, wait.
The Adobe Max
Actually, you know what I'm gonna do?
will be in Portugal, in Lisbon, if you're interested.
Hello from Portugal. And somebody else write something, and I'll just type that.
Yeah. Portugal, I think the T and the R are
what?
reverse.
I'm dyslexic
Yay.
too.
Wait, the G is missing now.
Oh my goodness.
There we go.
There we go.
Good
Got
job.
Got
Yay.
it. They should print.
Yeah. Teddy's saying they should print and frame. Maybe it'll worth a million one day. Yeah, I was suggesting it yesterday, but we didn't have enough time to to print one of those. But we'll do it for sure. Paul, hello from Riverside, CA. Hi, thanks for joining us. Great to have you here.
Hello from Riverside. Okay, so now that we have a good bit of blurb, can y'all see how this could be a design, like a poster?
Yeah, for sure.
And I'm not really a big fan of copy being all caps. So let's make that,
Yeah.
let's not make that caps.
It's if you go on the three dots over here.
Oh, again.
Right
okay.
there, yes.
Boom.
And
Thank
then-
you.
There
Such
we
a
go.
good help. Thank you.
Yay.
And then this is way too dark. So let's maybe go with the medium. And can we lower the opacity here?
Yes, we can.
There we go. Maybe do 80. There we go. So now we have this funky design. And for my typeforms class that I took, I usually do, if this is 18, I add 4.
There is a percentage, right? Or like a value.
Yeah.
So what is it? What did you learn? How did you learn that?
So there was, I took a typeforms class, which learned like the in and outs of types. And it was just like the intro class, but I remember paying a lot of attention and keeping my, I guess, studied PDFs and stuff. And what I learned about just setting type is very beginner, but it's worked for me. And it's just whatever your point is right here. You add 4 to your, is it, I think leading is this one? Or kerning? I
Yeah.
can't remember. I just know this one adds 4, and then this one's usually like a 10.
I think the kerning is between the letters.
Between the letters, right.
And leading is
Letting
between the lines.
The lines,
Yeah.
okay, yeah. And so I usually always had 4 to whatever here. And depending on if it's a title type or copy type, I'll usually play around with this. But usually for my copy, I stay between 10 or 15.
Yeah, just to make it easy to read, right?
Yeah, easy to read. And then I also learned, which not a lot of people know, but if you remember your old high school handouts, or anytime you would ever get a Xerox, maybe I'm showing my age, but if it had more than 15 words per line, you automatically got bored after reading like 3 sentences. And that's why you probably weren't able to pay attention and get through the entire PDF or printout or Xerox. And then also, if you look on your phone and you're reading an article and each line is 5 or less words before you have to drop down to another line, you'll automatically get irritated after reading for so long. So if you find yourself trying to get through an article on your phone and you're finding yourself like dropping down to read another line after like 3 or 4 words, then I would close that, because you're just gonna get mad after, and you're not gonna realize why, and it's because of that, because you're able to absorb when there's between 5 and 15 words per line before you drop down. And so I always keep that in mind when I'm making copy, because I don't want people to get bored or irritated when they're trying to read something that I want them to read, you know? So keeping that attention span and making it an easy read is also part of the design process.
Yeah, and also keeping the hierarchy. Like, what's the most
hierarchy,
important
yep.
thing? So right now, first we read Adobe, we see this beautiful illustration that kind of already gives you the context, of what's inside the main text, and then because the text is smaller and you have to kind of like go closer and see, okay, what is it about?
Right.
And then you start reading the text.
Exactly. So you wanna like say pow with the art, right?
Yeah.
And get people to see, and then you want to see, okay, why am I looking at this art?
Yeah,
so
exactly.
you see Adobe,
Yeah.
right? And then
You're pulling someone in.
you're pulling
and you
them
have
in.
the complete control about it.
Exactly. You're not like bringing them in too quickly. You're not bringing them into, prematurely. It's just like constantly like going into it and further in.
And creating multiple levels of viewing artwork like this, I think makes it more exciting, and I think that's brings the value to the work.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, so I'm very excited. We're going to be looking through the daily creative challenges right now that you guys submitted. So thanks for submitting those. And we're going to switch to my screen and take a little break from work, take a little breath, and look at other people's work.
Let's do it.
So this is how the Discord channel looks like. This is the Photoshop page here, and under current challenge, we have all the submissions of you guys. So we're gonna just click through them, give you the last one up here, last minute, and we're gonna go through them a little bit and give you some feedback.
Yes. Let's see what you
just
got.
take a look what you got. Yeah. Okay, this one is from Nishal. Nishal. Wow, this looks great. I think the colors here are kept very warm, and there's this contrast in the background, which is this more colder gray.
Yeah.
And I think it creates a great depth, right?
I think it's a soft scene, and I think I like looking at it, and I can look at it for a while because of the haziness and just like the soft fuzz of the edges in the background, and then it gives my eyes a place to rest, because there also is the green shrub in the middle, and I think just having the softer background allows me to see that shrub in my own time and not necessarily like rush into it. And I also like just kind of the foreground being a little bit warmer and then very warm in the center.
Yeah, I definitely agree to that. There is a great flow into the depth of this photo, and I think the edits here that were made with Lightroom, and even though Lightroom, you can adjust things, but it doesn't really mean that you are modifying the photo or anything. So I think it's great. I think it's great what you did here just by using Lightroom.
Yeah. I wonder if they used any filters to start off, because sometimes, how there are built-in filters that, based on the photo, will bring out certain qualities in the photo before you go into like using the sliders.
There's definitely presets that you can build yourself, or you can also import. I know there is a lot of artists that give some kind of presets that you can work with.
Right.
I work with some as well, but I think here you really were challenged to like do your own thing, like see the color and increase it or decrease it. So here I think it came out great, taking out all these yellowish and orange tones to keep it really nice and warm, but also adding this contrast in the background where you kind of have this like coolness the further you go.
Yeah, because it's also like you're in a desert, right? So
Yeah.
you're automatically gonna feel like you're overheating, but adding that cool factor to the sky almost makes it feel like it's about to rain, and in a way a little bit of salvation. So maybe that's where she was going with it.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, I think that was one of the source files, and then here is some kind of adjustment to it.
So infrared there.
Yeah, I think it's cool how you took the file and then kind of replaced the color using these two colors, like purple and the pink, that kind of go together very well, but also give you a good understanding of the shape, of the desert.
Right.
So I think what we saw before was actually like the source file that they had to work with.
I see.
So
I like this too, because now you kind of go more into the art side of it, right? And you're looking more in the values. So I see this as I would see like a black and white image, and how there are still places for my eyes to rest. And then the colors add this burst of energy that's just like, it's not necessarily like making you feel like you're in the desert, but it's making you almost appreciate, like, what if there weren't any heat, and it's just like me just looking at these sand dunes and just looking at the forms that they make. So it kind of gives you this way of focusing more on the art side of what these sand dunes are making, the shapes that these are making, and then less on the fact that they are sand dunes, and almost gives it more of the artist space.
yeah, cool. Well, great job, Nishal. Got us a little confused with the starter file. So I think it's for us to see the before and the after. So that's why I was not sure. But okay, cool. But great job, Nishal. Thanks for submitting.
So that's the starter file.
This is the starter file, yeah, from Marisa. This is the starter file, and then she went ahead and added some purple tones here, and I feel like increased a little bit the contrast by adding more color to the blue and the purple. So yeah, I think.
Let me see the starter file again.
So it looks more natural, right? And then she added this effect.
I like the blue in the shadows.
Yeah. Oh yeah, right here, right?
Yeah, and then on the right side or the left side of that rock.
Yeah.
Just kind of balancing out the sky too a little bit.
Yeah. I think that's how people create feeds that look very consistent. Is that they use presets like this. So for example, this you can save as a preset and apply to other pictures in Lightroom. So I like to use it on my mobile phone actually. It's also it has a mobile version, which is also really cool. So
I edit more on my phone.
Yeah.
I think it's just in my hand, so I might as well just.
Yeah, I think it's a very common thing nowadays. I mean, if you're posting onto your social media or something, it's very easy to take the picture that you have right there.
Yeah.
And so that came out really cool.
Good job.
And I think the magic about creating a feed that looks consistent is applying similar settings like this over here. Cool. All right, let's go down real quick.
A lot of desert.
So it looks like this is the source file or the initial file, and this is the edit.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Makes it very interesting.
Yeah.
Here again, the magentas are kind of up, and the blues are more vibrant. So it creates this amazing contrast, and
I think it could be something too where, if the sky were a little bit lighter, because the ground is so light and floating. It almost feels like the tree in the center is floating on the ground. And the sky feels more like a deep water kind of vibe and real heavy.
Oh my God, imagine turning this picture around.
What if we, turn it around? It would be kind of interesting.
That would be interesting to see.
But yeah, I think maybe it could be nice.
It makes the photo more abstract, right? You see more the shape itself. As we saw in the sand dunes, you concentrate more on the shape instead of what exactly it is and what time of day is it.
Yeah.
It's more like abstract.
Sometimes,
I kind of like it.
Yeah, like when I'm editing or just kind of looking for balance, I'll squint my eyes because then when you squint your eyes, what sticks out is how you are able to find a certain balance, because as you're squinting your eyes, the small fuzzy vision that you get, you'll notice where the dark areas are and where the light areas are, and you'll kind of see like, does it feel balanced? Do I feel grounded? And I think like it's a good practice to utilize that technique and just like, if this doesn't look right, let me squint my eyes and where does the contrast fall?
Seeing the big picture. That's why they say it's seeing the big picture, right? Yeah. Awesome. Great job, Marisa. Thanks for submitting.
Sweet.
All right, let's go up here. And we have some sand dunes again.
Are we all desert?
So it looks like this. Not sure. I think this is the edited file already.
This is the edited.
I think it is the edited file because there is no source file here. So I'm assuming, okay, this is the edited file, and I think I can see some things that were done here. I think the greens were kind of increased a little bit because if you look
saturation a little bit.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you look at this area, it looks kind of a little bit more exaggerated than you'll find it in nature. So that is really interesting. But it's not too much. It's not like the green is I
appreciate this. Right. It almost, I guess, from my looks like the sky has a little bit of gradient to it. So on the left side is a bit more like cooler blue, and then on the right side it has a little bit of purple in there because you kind of see the haze on the mountain in the back. So it's kind of cool like to just see that because the sand dunes already have a lot going on, and just to kind of keep the sky very minimal, I think works.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Guillermo's saying that's the original. I'm not sure. I'm
So
not sure.
we didn't see a source file. I don't
Yeah.
know.
So Kit, let us know. Did you do some edits here, or is this the original? I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But you can see here, Jay Lewis submitted this one.
And
That's
see,
the
that didn't
original.
have a source file, but this looks pretty edited. Oh, there's this little shape there though.
Yeah.
So
There's like a geometric shape in here. Or
yeah, with a
something.
little overlay on it.
It almost looks like you're looking out of a window, and then there's a reflection
I
of
see.
another
Yeah,
window.
Yeah. It looks like
reminds
there's
me
a
of that.
tint on the window.
Oh yeah.
You know, like this nice 5% tint or maybe.
Yeah.
What's going on in the shadow? Are those streaks like right above the grass? Yeah. What is
I
it?
think those are the sand dunes that kind of like stick out a little bit.
I see. I thought that was another shape that they drew.
I think this is interesting how you have these warm tones here, which is like this, I don't know,
Oh,
red.
I see.
red color, and then it goes in the shadows. It goes into
I
this.
think maybe
deep
they're
purple.
trying to get rid of that Adobe logo.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
right.
I
Yeah. I see.
see.
Oh, you missed a little bit here. I think it's the content aware tool that you have to fill a space. So
Yeah, I'm not that great with that tool, but practice makes perfect.
yeah. Well, this came out great. Good job, Jay Lewis. Okay, and Stress submitted this one. This is the before. I like the little sun ray here. This color.
Little rainbow there.
And
I'm
this
really
is
feeling
the
this edit.
after.
Yeah, I'm really feeling this edit. It reminds me of this movie, like a cinematic feel to it, like a night scene. But you know how sometimes whenever they're filming something in the daytime and they put a heavy filter to make it feel night, but it's still like almost like a distant planet. This is what this feels like. Like it's nighttime, but that still have the sun aspect to it, but with the darker colors. And just like the purple vibe going on. And it like I think purple and the sand dunes, like purple and that brown really go well together. I think this is a good choice in the overlay.
Yeah, I think it came out great too. And you have this warm version of this purple at the bottom and the colder one at the top, which kind of again creates this contrast. And then there is spots here where it kind of overlaps. So you have like some of the, I don't know if you can see it here. But yeah, you have a little like a light streak that kind of captures the color of the sky and kind of brings it down a little bit. And also here in this part down here, you can see it almost looks like a reflection from the sky. The colors are repeating themselves, which kind of brings the sky and the sand together, which is great.
What time do you think it is in that photo?
Here, it looks like either early morning, probably early morning, because I feel like sunsets have a little warmer tones, right?
It feels like 5:00 p.m.
Yeah.
Like that sun. Shadows are a little long, but not as long. And it feels like it's super hot in that scene right now.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like I would be sweating right now.
Yeah. Okay, thanks Stress for submitting. And Willie submitted this one. Oh yeah, this I can see the difference there from the original file
I
we saw
see.
before. And I think it's something that Instagrammers use a lot, and which is increasing the contrast and desaturating and only keeping minimalistic tones like this this warm like light, very light orange or like pinkish color.
This feels like you ever seen those noir films?
Which
Like
ones?
The noir films, like black and white, like like Dick Tracy
Oh,
kind of
noir,
thing.
yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
So this feels like those types of that type of treatment, but with color, right? You just kind of have like these shadows that feel so moody, and I think that was a cool take on just these sand dunes because it almost offers them more of this emotion. You know, like they're just these mounds that are being blown by the wind and being shaped by the wind, and just giving them these dark shadows kind of gives them like this heavier weight to it.
Yeah.
So.
William was also here in the chat, the one who submitted this artwork.
Ah.
It looks great. I think it came out great, and you should
What up,
definitely save this
William?
preset. William Agnew, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Awesome.
Good job, G. Looks like the Aladdin intro. Yes.
Yeah, right?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Which is, by the way, a great movie. I really enjoyed
Yeah.
watching that.
That was one of the movies I grew up on, too. Like,
And have you seen the new version?
I have not. You
Oh,
know,
so good.
I really want to just hold steadfast to my childhood.
With Will Smith?
Will Smith is cool. He's my G,
Yeah.
you know, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I want to watch it. I just got to prepare myself.
Yeah.
I
It's
gotta-
magical, too. It's very magical.
I got to
like it.
relinquish some control of
Yeah.
the franchise for me, you know.
Cool. Well, awesome, guys. Let's see if we have some
Wait,
more. Oh, yeah, we have some more.
Geometric shapes above.
That, I think, is from the past challenges.
Oh, was
not
it?
this.
Okay, never mind.
But
This
yeah,
is
it does
dog
look
one.
cool, too. Oh, yeah, we have some edits
Okay.
here with the sand dunes.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Yeah, I see there's some serious smoke edit here.
Yeah.
And, like, some clouds. I
Some
feel like.
psychedelic. Someone
Yeah.
was watching real closely on that
Yeah.
drawing. Yeah. Got the funk is alive.
Yeah.
Yeah, these are cool.
Yeah. This almost reminds me of something else now because there is so much contrast that kind of doesn't remind me of sand dunes anymore.
They look shiny.
It looks shiny too, and there is
Like
this
metal.
red, you know, like those mountains where you have a lot of color in them.
Mm-hmm.
So it kind of reminds me of that.
Don't they have those in, is it Iceland?
Yeah,
something like that?
I think so.
But these remind me of like metal sheets, you know?
Oh, okay.
Almost, and because like the smoke aspect is above that, it almost makes them like feel like steaming.
Mm.
And it just feels like this oven almost
Mm-hmm.
with what's that called? The tin foil, the not saran wrap, the aluminum foil. There we go.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that's kind of what that feels like.
Cool.
Very shiny.
Yeah, Marisa is saying it's yesterday's
Oh, that was yesterday.
photos for a Behance project. Yeah,
Okay.
well, but cool. Still a good
Still
job.
tight.
Okay, let's see at the bottom here. We have some penguins going on.
Mm.
Okay.
The image quality is not so good though. It's alright.
That's good.
So is that because it looks
wondering-
similar?
Yeah, it does look similar. So I'm
I
wondering
wonder if
what
that was
exactly.
a crop. Maybe a crop.
Maybe that's just a
IG
crop
crop.
from the other photo. But yeah, it looks like you took the photo yourself.
Mhm.
Let us know, Carrie. I feel like here the edits might have been that you added some warmer tones into this and kind of toned down the grains. If that's
Just read what William said.
oh
It's just about the Aladdin. Good job.
okay
Yeah,
Yeah.
the saturation on this is nice.
yeah cool awesome.
I do like saturation, but I think desaturating something is also valuable. And sometimes I've gone, like, I like, I don't know if anyone in the chat watches a lot of Korean films, but I like a lot of Korean films. And they desaturate most of those films. And there's a way that they do it that makes it more of a beautiful watch, right? And welcome to channel. Please try to chat English. But yeah, I do value desaturation, and I think with anything you can be too extreme of it. So there's a certain balance that you have to achieve, whether it's like oversaturating something or desaturating something.
Yeah, I definitely
So
agree
I
with
wouldn't
that.
be scared to attempt both sides and
Just
just see what you
experiment.
like. Yeah, just experiment. Because I mean, at the
Yeah.
end of the day, whatever you come up with, you know, there's a chance that someone was maybe looking for that, or you were not even knowing that was possible.
Yeah. All right, should we jump back for a couple more minutes?
Yeah, let's do it.
And kind of like wrap up the things and
Wrap it up.
think
Wrap
about
it up.
how we're gonna or how you would use the this illustration.
I wish
Just
I
to reimagine how you know what exactly
Mm-hmm.
could be the use.
wish I had like a little red button. Let's wrap it up. So I was gonna draw like a thing before we left, but now I'll do it. But you know, I love borders. I love.
Me too.
having-
I was thinking about that exact
Yeah.
same thing.
Yeah,
I would put maybe a colored shape in the background
yep,
or something.
There it is.
Yeah.
So I think I have 11 by 17 as the artboard. So maybe we'll do a 2-inch border or maybe a 1-inch border. I think we'll do a 2-inch just for the sake of this. So we'll probably go to 9 width, yeah, by 15.
Ooh.
Let's see, and then properties. Do we have the
Fill color?
align? No, I'm just looking for the align tool, maybe. There
Oh,
we go.
okay.
So I like to use the align tool.
Yeah, you can align to the artboard, or you can align in between the elements, depending on what you need
Right.
at the point.
And then maybe we can bring this. You know what? Maybe let's make this
A little bigger.
a little bit bigger.
Yes.
Or you know what?
Cool.
Let's do another one. And let's make this, I don't know, 11 by 17. Let's make it 10 point.
Akin is saying, "Oh my God, this is the first time I'm seeing penguins on the surface that doesn't have snow or ice. They're looking, they look like they're on a summer vacation."
Yeah, they do.
Yep. I'm wondering if that photo was taken by the person.
Maybe.
Could be the case.
We'll do a double border, or maybe we'll do with this being a little lighter.
I really like the combination of this beige color that you're using with the bright colors in the foreground. So,
Yeah, it kind of works, doesn't it?
and it makes the hand pop more because you have this white, you know, background shape.
Right. So let's
Carrie's saying
do-
these are penguins from Argentina.
Ah. Let's try. I kind of like the beige actually. So I like that border. Actually, I'll just group all of these because that way we can make them at the
Yes.
same time.
Yes.
And probably put them down here. And that way.
Carrie's
the
saying a
design-
friend of mine took the image.
Oh, okay.
Cool, that's good to know.
See? Well, collaboration.
Eric is asking about the typeface you used for Adobe.
This is Brandon Grotesque.
Brandon Grotesque.
It's it has smooth corners or rounded corners, just a little bit, and I find it to be very soft to use, but still bold. I like Futura as well.
Yeah, Futura is very similar
It's an OG,
in a way.
but I think just for the purpose of this, and maybe we can put a little bit of a intro.
This is cool. Eric is saying, thanks, I like that font.
Yeah, no worries. I like it too.
And by the way, if you want to look for more fonts, you can go on to fonts.adobe.com. And there you can search for different typefaces. So you can even like choose characteristic, like boldness. So if you go here on browse fonts, you can pick what type of classification you want to pick. Like for example, sans serif. You can type whatever text you want. Say Joonbug. Right, and then you see the typefaces here. There's about 53 pages of those specific ones. You can pick the weight and all. So,
Pick the
and it's very easy to activate on your. Yeah, thanks Tim for the link.
And then, you know, I just noticed the Adobe is lost in here. It's like behind
yeah.
all this. So maybe we can bring it to the forefront, right? Ooh, look at that. So that was outline view.
Yeah.
And maybe we can...
So what exactly would you do with this illustration?
You know,
We're gonna wrap up right now, so because we are unfortunately out of time. But you will definitely be able to see the finalized illustration on your Behance, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna post the 2 illustrations that we've done on my Behance,
Yeah.
and also the initial drawing as well.
Yeah.
So people can kind of see like how it started and how it finished, and kind of the in between as well.
Yeah.
And yeah, hopefully you'll see it.
Thank you so much, Joonbug.
Thank
It was
you,
a
guys.
pleasure hosting you. It was so much
Yeah.
fun. Thanks, guys, for participating in the chat and giving us all the feedback and asking us all those fun questions. And hopefully, we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye. Peace. Peace.